And what is up, everybody? Jeremy here, excited to bring to you another Starfield Creation Kit video. This is tutorial number 9 coming at you. Today it's all about the NPC vendors, how to set them up, how to create their factions, how to create the containers for that contain all the items that they will be able to sell. And what's another one? There's another one. Is it factions, actors, the actors, the actual vendors, the characters. We need those too. 4 things. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as everything does help out. And once again, this is part of an entire tutorial series. So if you want to get into modding and getting into the creation kit for the very first time, definitely check out the first video, get you started. You'll be able to create your very first mod in about 30 minutes. So yes, something that took me about 6 to 7 hours to do, you can now follow this video and get yourself started in 30 minutes. Let's get into the video, everybody. Let's show you what we're doing today. Let's first go over everything that we're using. So let's go over what our data pieces are. Of course, we have the starfield.esm file loaded up. We also have our asset master file that I've been using for this whole tutorial series. All right, you have that set up. In our cell, we have loaded up our practice facility at our unique location. And for our layers, we currently have our landing pad set furnishing layer active. So that's where we want to place things. So let's get to it. Let's show you what we're doing. Let's go ahead and zoom in into the spot that we'll be working on. So yeah, this is the area. Let's see, that's the area we'll be working on right there. So those are the 2 spots right there. Those are 2 spots where we will place our vendors. So let's go ahead and furnish those areas. I'm currently in the road objects and pack-in part of the object tree, and what I'm going to do is do a filter search for crate, load those up, and I've already pre-selected what I want. So I have bundle number 27, but just FYI, this is a pro tip from Eugene Abel 5550. Thank you so much for this tip. This is probably the fastest way for you to just explore a bunch of objects really quickly. So what I'm gonna do is just drag this out, place it in there, and while selected, I'm gonna hold Alt, and then on my mouse wheel, let me go ahead and zoom in real quick. Actually, zoom into this really quick so you can see it better. There we go. I'm gonna hold Alt and then scroll my mouse wheel, and I'll start changing the object for you, so that way you can explore a bunch of things you like. And it's like, no, don't like that. No, not that one either. And yeah, you can just go through all these really quickly instead of trying to like double click on each one in the object window. So that could take a long time. So the one I want right now is object 27. So merch gen 01 bundle 27. So I'll just do it this way right there. Perfect. This is the one I want. I'm gonna place it back here. Somewhere back there, yeah. On the other side, we're gonna bring out bundle number 29. So place that right there. Swing it around. Boom. All right, we have our set dressing set up. Perfect. Okay, next part we're gonna do. We are going to set up the containers for these guys. So what we're gonna do is in our filters, J Ramos Works asterisk. So I've already created some things. I'll put containers. And of course, I'm still currently in the pack-in part of the trees. I'm going to go back to all. And hopefully get all of it. Did I misspell something? J Ramos Works containers. Oh, it's just container. Alright, so there you go. So these are already the 2 that I've set up in our kiosk. In our kiosk tutorial. So essentially, if you just open this up, I'm just taking a bunch of items. So the armor one, I just placed a bunch of items right there. And in for the weapons kiosk, I just set up, I'm grabbing 1, the credits, and 2, the weapon kiosk. So let me see here. If I go to click on weapon kiosk, I should have the weapons that I created in earlier tutorials as well. I mean, if you just want to use something as a quick example, I would recommend just grabbing, well, yeah, I'll show you how to do it. So we'll create something as a quick example that you could add to these containers. So one, I'm going to duplicate the weapons container. So I'm going to hit edit or double click on it, or here, 2 options, right click, edit, or just double click on it to open up this container view. This one has the credits that the vendor will have and also weapons in there. So I'm just duplicate this one. So instead of calling it a weapons kiosk container, I'm going to call it the weapon vendor container. All right, and I'm going to hit. Am I going to add anything else to this? No. This is our weapons container. Weapons container. Let's leave it as is. So I'm going to hit OK. Create a new form. Yes, I will. So now we have our vendor container. I'm going to edit this one again. Yeah, I'm going to edit this one again. I'm going to create a general vendor container. I'll keep the weapons in here, but I'm going to add a few more things. So I'm going to go to my second object window. Oops, cancel this. Go to my second object window that I have listed here. J Ramos Works, and I'll put in spacesuit. There he is. So these are the armor pieces that I want to put in there. So I'm just put in directly, leave it loose. I'm also going to search up the container for the den. So I'm just put in the filter den and then asterisk container. So searching for these two words in there. And I want the vendor station den Orville container. Is that what I want? Double click on this, see. No, that's food items. Let's see. Maybe I should I'll do vendor den. Vendor den. So yeah, just know that the first word needs to show up first in that list. So let me see. Vendor station den Orville. No. It's this one, Trade Authority. That's the actual container I want. So LLC vendor any Trade Authority. So I just want, okay, so just vendor and just put trade. Alright, so I want this in here as well. So I'll drop that in. Okay. So this is everything that I want for the general vendor in that container. Alright, so I'm going to hit OK. And just as a test, so create a new form. As a test in this weapons, well, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. So just to show you, for the weapons kiosk, as an example, I'm also going to bring in the Trade Authority list in here as well. Alright, so this is a quick way to just say, I'm just going to have a bunch of items. Just pull the list from the Trade Authority and place it in that container. Okay, now we have the weapons and we have the general. So this is the general vendor, this is the general vendor there. Perfect. So we now have our containers that we are set to fulfill the items from these guys. Let's go ahead and create our factions. So this is the biggest part here where you're able to connect the container to the actor that's going to sell these items. So the character, your vendor. So it's going to be character and factions. Let's go ahead and click on this. Let's go ahead and remove our filters in here. And these are all the vendors, or all the factions. I should say a lot of factions, but a lot of them are vendors. See, look, vendor station key, vendor station key. So all these are vendors. If you do a filter for just vendor in the faction part of the tree, these are all your vendors listed here, and each one is set up individually. Mostly set individually. I mean, I know some of them are generalized. I think, are they? No, you need to have. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I think some of them could be generalized. Like if the Terror Brew or the Chunked vendor, if they're selling the same thing every single time, then I think you should be able to generalize that. Yeah, but we're going to create two individual vendors in here in this example, and that's what we're going to do next. So we're going to right click here and hit new. And so we're going to create three different vendors, or three different factions. It's going to be J Ramos Works _ Ramtech vendor, and then faction. So this is the general faction. This is how we're going to set up our quests and our dialogue, because I don't want to create a dialogue for each of the vendors. I want to use the same dialogue and just call up that quest line dialogue activation piece again and again and again, versus duplicate it and recreate it again. So I think that's all I need for this one. There's nothing specific that we're doing here right now. So yeah, just hit OK. Hit OK, and then I'm going to switch my filter to J Ramos Works. There it is. In the faction, we're still in the faction tree. So I'm going to right click on this, hit edit, and now I'm going to create my individual. So I got J Ramos Works Ramtech Vendor Faction. My first individual is going to be Jack. Jack is going to be an owner, and the reason why I want him to be an owner is because another thing you could do for vendors is you can have loose items around that person, and they could also sell those items if they own it, if they're the owner of it. And we're going to show you how to do that, like right after this. So general, vendor. We'll do that. Okay, we're just going to set up our two factions first, our individual factions, and then we'll drop some things there. So there you go. Create new form, yes. And then just gonna double click this one, and we have one for Jill. So you got Jack and Jill as our vendors. They can be owner, and these are the pieces that we need to add on after the fact. So let's hit OK. Create new form, yes. All right. So now we're gonna start furnishing this up a little bit more. We're gonna so I'm gonna go to all first. I'm gonna go to all. Right, J Ramos Works. I'm gonna put in container, or maybe we should put vendor container. Yeah, vendor container, or not, or having misspelled vendor. There it is. Those are two vendor containers where you just grab one and just drop it in. So these are markers and they are invisible. Alright, so these are invisible in the real world. So before you'd try to hide it, but now it's completely invisible, so no one can view it anymore. Alright, so this vendor is going to have a chest nearby. He's also going to have some loose items here. So one of the things I'm going to include, I'm going to go to my second object window, J Ramos Works. I'm going to do suit, or no, apparel. No, what's it called? What was it called? Overalls. There it is. So I'm going to drop that in right here. Alright. Move it around. And then I am going to double click on this. And then we're going to go to ownership. And the faction that owns it is going to be Jack. Right? Because we set, if you don't set the faction to can be an owner, this will not appear on the list. Alright, so it's going to be faction Jack. And then we're going to hit OK. So that's one piece. I'm going to add some other items in here as well. I'm going to add in med packs. That's a great one to do. Med pack. Aid med pack. So just drop that in. Put that one right here for now. And I'm going to zoom in on it. Oops. Oh, slow down. Slow this down. Alright. Okay. So double click or right click edit. I'm also going to add an owner in this instance, this reference. This owner is going to be Jack as well. Right? Yeah, Jack. Hit OK. The OK button's hidden there. So I want to duplicate this multiple times. So that's the reason why. I wanted to create one first, and then hit Control D to duplicate, Control D to duplicate, and Control D. Let's see if I can select all of them. Can I do this? Yeah, and just control click that other one out there. Perfect. And then I'm just going to havoc this down. So I'm going to zoom out so you can see. So they're going to go to the havoc button right here. Right there. And then see how this drops. Let's see how this drops. Alright, not bad. Turn off havoc. Zoom back in. Okay. We have Jack in here. Let's do the same thing for Jill. So I'm just going to copy one of these. All right, copy one of those. And let me see. Can I just paste it? Can I just paste it? Let's see what happens. We'll hit Control V. Where's it go? Oh, cool. It goes where the mouse is. Perfect. So I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to hit F to drop it down. And I'll add another set of med packs for Jill. And this is going to be a test because what I want Jill to do is only sell weapons. And yeah, that's the reason why I added multiple things in there just to demonstrate what happens. Oops. Did I make her I didn't make her the owner yet, did I? Yeah, I didn't. So Jill. Jill right here. Perfect. Hit OK. And before I duplicate more of these guys, it's going to be ownership and then Jill. Cool. So yeah, I'm typing the letters of J Ramos Works, so that way it can just move down the list faster in that drop down menu. So there we go. We got that set. Let's go ahead and move this up. Oh, I already had one duplicated. This is the right owner still? Yeah. Okay, cool. Alright, duplicate, 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 duplicate. Alright, select. Oh, sweet, that worked out. Havoc it down. That's where it fell. Alright, perfect. Let's do a quick save. And if you want to do a backup now too, might as well. Because now we're going to add in... wait, we need to add one more faction here. So let's go edit. We need to edit both factions. Alright, we need to edit both factions. So let's just zoom out real quick. Or, let's finish Jack. So vendor, this is all, so let's go with, let's remove container. So we have vendor, so all our vendors are open right here. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so we're going to edit the faction for Jack, his individual faction, and then, yeah, can be owner. Let's go to vendor. So click on vendor, start hours 024. Yeah, he's always out there. Location. So this is in reference to where the person is or where the vendor is. So I'm going to hit edit, and you have all these options. Near editor location, I haven't figured out how that works out specifically, but at least for this case, right, I'm going to use near reference and then select the reference, and I want it to be like, this is his spot, this is his vendor spot. So I'm just going to double click here. I want the crate to be the area or that's considered the vending area. All right. Now another thing you do is like you could hit in cell, right? In cell, and then you can just find the cell that you're working in. Like let's say that you created a vendor store, so that means everything in that store should be connected to the owner, which is the vendor. So you could do it that way as well. So you have multiple options to lock down where the vending area is going to be. So this is already set. I'm going to hit OK. And then this is the radius. The radius from that spot is how big is that vending area, and that means what in there do you want to include, or at least in this application, what in there do you want to include for this area to sell, for this vendor to sell. Okay, so I'm going to set a radius of 5. That should be fine. And then what is he going to sell? So there are a bunch of items here that you can select from. And like for the weapons person, for Jill, she's going to be vendor items, weapons. And what you can do is you can also create your own list. So let me see. I tried to do this before and I hit. Yeah, so this is an edit. But let's go into here. Just show you vendor items. You have a bunch of lists that are here. So the vendor items, weapons, it'll be based on keywords. So I want all the objects that are weapons. I want all the objects that are ammo available on this list called vendor items weapons. Alright, you can customize a list yourself. Now, if you just want this vendor to be able to sell everything in the game, right, just select none. So everything that's available to him, and then click on buy sell everything not in list. Because what's the opposite of none? Everything. Everything. So if I selected vendor items weapons and had this selected, it will sell everything except weapons and ammo. So yeah, set it to none. Vendor conditions, you can have a lot of different variables in here that need to be met that could have the vendor either appear or whatever. So this like start location, end location, or other things like, is he part of this? Is he part of that? Or have you completed this? So there's a lot of things that you can do to set up the conditions. All right, merchant container. All right, this is the last piece. To connect, we're going to select reference and render window and double click on this, and now we have our container set for this faction. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Oh, I didn't even bring out the crate, the container here yet. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. J Ramos Works, and put vendor, and this should have all the vendor items I've created thus far. So I want the weapons vendor container. I should have named this differently because I have vendor in there already. I probably should have named it specifically. Alright, this is Jack. This is Jill. Let's do that. Let's do that. This is Jill's container. I mean, if you want it to be more generic, you can as well. But yeah, I'm gonna call this Jill. Create a new form? No. Yes. And then have Jill's container right here. And while I'm here, might as well edit Jack's container. So general Jack container. Or maybe it's container Jack. I don't know. Define your naming conventions. Alright, we're gonna hit OK. Do you want to create a new form? No. And are you sure you want to rename this object? Yes. Alright. So that should, I mean, yeah, it should change the names for you and what it's connected. Alright. Now let's go to faction for Jill. So general can be owner, yeah, already set that. Vendor, she is a vendor. At location, let's do it. It's going to be based on your reference. Select reference, it's going to be this crate, and hit OK. And radius is going to be 5. So I think that's good enough. I mean, it's literally on the crate. So like the items that you can sell. Alright, vendor. So this is going to be the weapons one. But just to show you, I'm going to say buy and sell everything not in a list. So she will have everything that does not contain weapons. Alright, and that should be it. Voices, there's no voices in here yet because we have not created our actors, which is going to be the last thing we do. So here we go. We have the vendor spot set up. I'm going to double check the Jack faction. Make sure that his vendor, like, just confirm that we do have the general Jack container here. Yeah. Yep, there it is. Okay, cool. Let's create some actors. So we're going to go in here, slide up to actor and actors in the tree. We're going to right click on here, hit new. It's going to be J Ramos Works, Ramtech vendor Jack. Name. So you can put the names like maybe his full name is Jack Bright, and then his short name Jack. So that's what's going to be seen when you mouse over this character. But I don't want any of that. I just want Ramtech procurement services. I guess, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. All right. He is going to be essential, and he is going to be unique for his traits. Human race, voice type, I'm going to put generic male. Generic male. Let me see. Generic male 01 or 0. Any. I mean, I'll go with 5. Sure. It's like they have different voices, different accents. So be sure to check that out. For his weight, I'm just going to hit randomize. I want. Well, he's more of a. I'm going to make him more military. So I want more muscular. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so traits, that's set. Then we go into factions. His factions, he's going to be 2 things. He's going to be the Ramtech vendor faction, and then Jack. So I wish you could do that. I wish you could just control click both of those. It does it one at a time. Jack, right there. So yeah, you also have all these things you can look at here. It's like, all right, what's it going to be? What do you want to do this? If you want to like continually build out the character a little bit more, you definitely can. Relationships, keywords, AI data. Like, what is he going to do? Is he aggressive? Is he this? Or is he what, full frenzy? Whatever. Like, this one, I mean, he's going to, sure, we'll have him help friends and allies. Even though it's neutral. AI packages. There's a lot you can do here. And I don't know anything about it yet. So yeah, you can set your NPC to be a patrol. You can make sure that your NPC you can have him wander, and at times he could be sitting down at a desk, or he could be sitting down at the area where he does his vending, like this primary vending spot. So there's a lot you could do here. I do not know anything about it. I kind of dabbled in it, but haven't created anything that worked just yet. So that's going to be continuing. That'll be a process. That'll be a process. Inventory. So this is his personal inventory. Of course, you want him clothed, but yeah, if you want to give him a weapon, you put it here. Let me see. Can I do that here? No. Wait. Yeah? Right? Yeah? New? So yeah, you can do that. You just click here and then search for what you need. So let me see. Let me see. Do I have what I think I have here? Yeah. So you can add these items here. So there's the Ramtech weapons. So let's give him the Beowulf. Sure. There it is. And like, you could also set up things like, maybe if you create another NPC, it's like, I want to give him a loot menu that he could possibly have and drop some items after, like, yeah, for maybe your enemy, your hostile NPCs, you want to set something up for that. You can. But right now he has this. I'm not sure if he needs ammo. I don't know. Does he? I don't know. Okay, 7.77. Let's look that up. Or no, 777. There's no dots in there. Ammo. Count. He only needs one. Based on remember. Yeah. Alright. Outfits. We're gonna give him the overalls. One of the overalls. So outfit. I think it was mechanic tank top. Hey, there we go. Looking good. And for a suit, you can customize the suit. So like, just an example, I'm just gonna go to, like, I didn't create an outfit for like the Ramtech gear yet, but you can do that just based on what I've done for armors thus far. I'm just gonna give him the UC pilot with helmet and no backpack. Right? So if you want to like edit your outfits, you can just click on here and you see how it's done. They just pull in this stuff, so I can rename this, write the outfit, and put in what items that I want. So let's do it real quick and see what happens. Ramtech vendor outfit. And I'll probably edit this later. I'm going to remove these for now. I'm going to have this to the side. And let's go ahead and put in J Ramos Works, Ramtech, and then spacesuit, space. So yeah, I'll put in. I'm going to put in here. I'll put in stealth helmet and star. Wait, there's something else here. Reclaim body. There you go. That's what too. Okay. Create a new form. Yes. So I'll edit those later. It's like, yeah. So now you know how to create an outfit for your NPCs or whoever else. All right. So there you go. So I need to put him in here too. Wait. Oh, they're not gonna see it yet. So yeah, everything's here yet. Just, I remember that if you create a new form through this method, it's not going to show up in the drop down menu just yet until you just hit OK and then go back into it, right? And then you can see it. J Ramos Works, Ramtech vendor outfit. There you go. And probably should have named this better. Let's name it better. So Ramtech spacesuit vendor outfit. Yeah, just let them know that this like is it the spacesuit version or the clothes. So yeah, I should name that better. Create new form? No. Yes. Let's see. We'll change it here. Let's find out. Let me hit OK and let's double click on it again. Nice. So it changed it. Perfect. So I noticed here that, yeah, double check this. Sometimes, like, I remember when I edit the traits, it might uncheck essential and unique. So just make sure that's set. Alright, so everything should be set. Traits, factions, and inventory. That's essentially all you need to get started with a vendor. The big part with the behavior of your NPC is going to be your AI packages. This is the behavior. Like, next thing I want to figure out is like, all right, how do I have a guard patrol? is going to be revolving around the AI package. How do I have an NPC who's a vendor have an opportunity to wander around in his area and like check for things and make sure things are not getting stolen, patrol his area? It's going to be in the AI package. So that's probably the next thing I'm going to try to figure out and understand. All right, let's hit OK, and let's create our second vendor, Jill. So I'm just going to take Jack, set him up as Jill. Oh, look at this, got unchecked again. So traits, this time it's going to be a female. It's the same thing. I'm not even going to bother with let me see, generic female 1. Cool. Yeah, so I'm not like, you have all this. Oh yeah, the other part you might want to say, all right, if you want to customize them even more, you got the face customization, you got the face morphs, you have all this to play around with if you want to play around with more customization on that NPC. All right, so essential, unique. Let's hit OK, create a new form. Yes, I do. And let's double check this because I saw that the things got unchecked. So essential, unique, hit OK. Double click again, double check to see if it, okay, that time it took. Jill. It took. All right, perfect. All right, so let's drop them in. Jill, right there. Face forward. Jack on the other side. Face forward. There we go. We got Jack and Jill set. Last thing we need to do, we just need to create a quest just for dialogue. So yeah, that's what it is. Dialogue that activates these vendors' vending. So let's go ahead and check that out. We're going to go into character and then quest, and we're going to hit right click, new. And here are all our what is this? 1 second. Oh, it's freaking me out. It's like, this is a huge window. This is a huge window. It's like it was going across to my other. There you go. Let's bring this down a little bit. Hey. Okay. Quests. J Ramos Works. Ramtech. Vendor. Dialogue. I mean, all it is just for dialogue purposes and activating the vending for the NPC. Priority, that's a 10. I'm kind of basing this off what I found on the Terra Brew dialogue. So that's what I kind of based this on and try to figure it out. So quest dialogue conditions. So this determines like what does the NPC need to have or anything that needs to happen before you can activate this quest line or dialogue line that we're doing. So I'm going to hit right click here, new. The only thing I want to have happen is I want these guys connected to the vendor faction for Ramtech. So I'm going to look for get, just type it in, get if, no, not get if, get in, right? Get in faction, there it is, get in faction. And then I want the J Ramos Works vendor faction. All right, so generalize it so if I have vendors anywhere else in the universe, it would call up this quest line for the dialogue. All right, so that's the idea here. And yeah, hit OK. So that's set. This part is set. Next part I want in here is quest aliases. All right, so look, we have all this stuff that are set up for quests, but I just want dialogue for my vendor. So yeah, this gives you a little taste on how to set up quest lines. So quest aliases, I'm going to create a new reference alias, and I'm going to call it Ramtech vendor. Okay, so what this does, right? What this does is takes any character out there, any NPC out there, if it meets these conditions, place them as a character in this dialogue known as Ramtech vendor. All right, so for this quest line, you can set up multiple aliases, basically multiple characters that these NPCs can play a role in the dialogue tree or whatever conditions you may want to set up. So the alias here is Ramtech vendor, and based on our current set right now, both Jack or Jill can be identified or be given the alias of the Ramtech vendor in the dialogue tree. Okay, so there's multiple ways to do this. If you're doing a specific individual, then you're going to do unique reference. Like I set both Jack and Jill as unique characters, so you get to unique reference, right? And then I'll put J Ramos works Jack or Jill. All right, and remember, since it's a unique reference, they must be checked as unique when you created the actor. Yeah, when you created the actor. So this is not that's not what I want. I want it more generalized. So the best way for that is kind of how I'm setting up the faction for Ramtech vendors. So find matching reference. Hit right click here. And yeah, you could do this. You can have so many different options for this, but the only matching condition that I want is to make sure that they are part of the faction. So get its ID. So this is like gets its ID. This is the way that, did I already say that? Get its ID. This is the way you're able to just lock down to a specific actor, right? You could do it this way. You could do it this way as well, right? That's one way to do it. But what I'm doing this by faction. So get in faction. There, perfect. It loaded up right there, perfect. Went straight to what I typed in. Click on invalid, and then make this the J Ramos Works vendor faction. Hit OK. Hit OK. So now the requirements for anyone to be a Ramtech vendor is that they need to be part of the Ramtech vendor faction. So that's it. That's all it's set. Hit OK. Now that we started this quest line, you notice there's one thing you'll see right away is that there's a lot of tabs that are missing. So I just set up these two things. I'm going to hit OK. And then re-edit this quest. Now you have all these other tabs available to you. And the next tab that we're going to be working with is going to be called Scenes. So you have a set of scenes that are not available yet. So what I'm going to do is right click in editor and hit new, and dialog I'm going to call it 001. So Ramtech vendor dialog 001. Hit OK. Now this is set. Just click on it, make sure it's active. Now you see all this going on. Let me zoom out for you a little bit. So this is the whole window view of what's going on. What's this? Where'd this come from? It's like, but yeah, you have all this showing up. So this is basically a dialogue, not tree. This is a dialogue option. Think of it as an option, and you basically then you follow the tree from you go on. So yeah, like basically here the dialogue. This is the dialogue options you could have that you could set up. So I'm going to set the priority of 1 and index of 1. I'm only going to create one option here for this guy. All right. Okay, well, let's zoom back in. So, oh, it's my shortcuts. I see. my shortcut for the zoom in. It's activating this. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, I'll remember that. Okay, so I set priority to 1, index to 1, and this is going to be player dialogue. I want it to be top level, and then I want at the end to go back to the top level on topics, and then I want to force the primary actor alias. All right, this is important because I have two vendors of the same faction in the same area, and when on my test before, what happened is that I talked to one person, and all of a sudden, like the other vendor started talking, and then we activated her. Like I was talking to Jack, and I activated Jill's vending. So if you hit force primary actor alias, so that means the person you're talking to right in front of you, this is the person that the dialogue will stick with the whole time. Otherwise, if you have multiple vendors of the same faction or whatever faction you're trying to set a dialogue with, it could go anywhere. It could go anywhere. So forcing primary actor alias, super important. And then you have the conditions for it, this challenge, right? So this is right here. It's like they said, this is a big window. This is a big window. Look at this. You can zoom out again. So it popped up that window again. So that's a big window. All right, so let's go ahead. Zoom back in. So conditions for this. And yes, you can create individual conditions for each actor, for each vendor. So like if I want this one specifically to be, oops. If I want this specific dialogue option to be only available to Jill, you can do that, and you'll do it right here. So hit new. So yeah, it would be get its ID, and then you'll find the ID for Jill as an actor. But I want this to be generic right now. I'm just gonna go get in faction, and switch this to the J Ramos Works Ramtech vendor faction. Hit OK, and hit OK here. So now this dialogue is available to everyone that's in the vendor faction, but specifically the one that I'm talking to in that faction. Okay, now let's talk about this tree. We're going to have two actors, right? We have our Ramtech vendor. That's the alias for anyone in his faction that I'm talking to at the time. Place them into the dialogue tree, and of course we want the player default. That's your character. Hit OK. Now you have the two actors in here. Alright, and of course now you understand that it's like, alright, maybe I want another actor. I want another actor in here, a non-actor track or another alias name. Maybe you have, maybe if you have a companion in here or something, maybe you could set up something for your companion that's nearby. But yeah, that means you just create another alias and let them fall into that specific piece. So there you go. Player default, and then phase 1. So this is phase 1. This is where I have the option to talk. That's how I'm setting it up. And then phase 2, we're going to add another phase at the end. This is the response from the vendor. Okay, so my dialogue tree, I'm going to hit right click here and hit new action, and it's going to be dialogue. Let me move my mouse a little bit. So there you go. New action dialogue. It creates a new menu right here, or new set of options. I'm going to put in, as for my dialogue, I would like to purchase something. Period. And then, yeah, head tracking. It's going to be, you're going to be looking, so the head tracking means like, who do you see? Where are you looking at the time when you're showing, when this option's up in a dialogue or in the phase? It's going to be, I'm going to be looking at the Ramtech vendor, right? So that's what I want to see pop up, and hit OK. It's going to pull up this, so yeah, it pulled, I knew it, and it was going to pull up again right here. So yeah, Ramtech vendor. So there's head tracking right there. Now I would like to purchase something, and that's fine. So this is the dialogue action one in this scene. That's good. That's all I need, and hit OK. I would like to purchase something. It's going to be tracking the Ramtech vendor. Now over here, right click on this, hit new action, dialogue, and this guy's only going to say sure. So there's no voice on these dialogues right now. There's an option for you, alright, to record something. Totally something I don't know about right now, but there's that option to create something for the dialogue tree that could be sound. So and that's the reason why I only wanted this person to say sure, because like it's short. You don't have to wait for, like, you could create a whole dialogue here if you wanted to. It's like, yes, absolutely, I really would like you to browse my wares. You can do that. You can type it in, but no, that's not it. Alright, hit OK. It's going to be pop up the option for me to start head tracking. And it's going to be, it can stay on the Ramtech vendor. Hit OK. And yeah, of course you can start naming these things, but I'm not going to. That's okay. So the start of phase 2, end of phase 2, perfect. Sure, let's double click on this and start filling out our other options. So there's going to be additional conditions that are going to happen here. I want, like, after they say sure, I want to bring up the vending. So what I'm going to do is hit right click here, hit new, and this is going to be the same thing, get in faction, right? Get in faction, and then I want to change this to the vendor factions. All right, so just another condition. It's like, am I talking to somebody from the vendor faction? And that's yes, yes. And then we're going to add a script name. It's going to be vendor info script. Okay, we're going to hit OK over here, and it's going to bring up this other menu, the properties for it, and you don't need anything here. Just hit cancel. All right, vendor script, and then hit OK, and hit OK over here. And now I believe we are done. Right? We're done here. That's it. So, yeah. I mean, I guess I didn't mean to click this quick. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Because like I noticed that this one doesn't have head tracking here. But yes, let's add it. Sure, let's add it. There it is. Head track vendor. It should be the same. It should be exactly the same for everything here. So that's it. We are set. Let's go ahead and hit. Let me drag the window up here. Let's hit OK. And let's save it. Up here, save. Let's zoom out. And let's double check. Let me think real quick. Am I done? I think I'm done. That's it. Let's test it out. Let's go ahead and load up the game. And we'll fast forward to that part where we load this scene up. Wait, hold on a second. Where's Jack? I placed Jill. I forgot to place Jack. Let's place Jack in here. Jack. Get in there. Oh, he's already in there. What? Why don't I see him? Hold on a second. Where are you, Jack? So I'm just looking into our vendors down here. Why do I not see Jack here? What? Did I make him invisible or something? Hold on. I don't see a Jack in here. Or did I? No, there's no Jack in here. Huh. Look for Jack. I don't see it. It's like, wait, what? What? Oh. What are you doing over here? It's like, hey, bro. What's going on? How did that happen? Okay. All right. Disaster averted. Save it. Zoom out. We're good. We should be good. Fast forwarding to the game. Okay, here we are. We have Jack and Jill. They're wearing the new armor that I'm wearing. That's cool. But yeah, I'm probably going to modify this later. Looks like he's also carrying the weapon that I gave him. Perfect. Let's go ahead and check out what he does for the event. Hey, I would like to purchase something. Sure. Loads it up. It has everything that we see here. And let's go exit real quick. Let's see, he has the items here that are owned by him. He's staring at me. Alright, fine. We have all of that. Perfect. He owns it. That means we should be able to purchase it from him as well, since we're in that exact area. So let's load that up. And yeah, the apparel right here. That's the Ramtech Enhanced Armor. I don't know what's going on in the arms here. That's weird. Buy it. And then also under aid, there should be some med packs. Let's go ahead and buy like 6 of them. Okay. And then he should have spacesuits. Perfect. She should also... Did I give him weapons too? Yeah. So I gave him the Ramtech weapons and also the weapons from the den. The Trade Authority den. Or the Trade Authority General. Okay. And if you exit, you notice that those pieces are now no longer there. So that worked out perfectly. Let's go to Jill. Jill.
Hey.
Hey. I would like to purchase something. Sure. And we have nothing. Huh. So, I mean, let's find out. Because I would think that, I did see something before. So yeah, we're going to go back and check what she's doing. So we're going to hit quit, edit, or quit, and let's go back to editing Jill's vendor options here. So let's go to her faction. So let's edit Jill's faction. Zoom in. And buy, sell everything not on list. So that's vendor items, weapons. So I would think, unless, let me see, is this not in the right spot? No, it's the right reference. So that should be available to Jill. Select merchant. Oh, I didn't select the merchant container. But yeah. Okay. Can be owner. Perfect. Alright. Alright, so I forgot one thing. Let's save it. And the idea here is that everything except for weapons and ammo should be available to purchase. So that's the theory. Let's try it out. So let's fast forward again. Alright. Here we are again. Here's Jill. I forgot to name her too. For Ramtech procurements, I wanted her to be weapon specialist. But yeah, let's purchase something. And nothing. Okay. Huh. Interesting. Alright. Well then, let's go ahead and just back out. So I would think that that would have worked the way I expected it to, but I'm guessing it's not. So let's just go ahead and just edit to what was intended. And yeah, let's just do it. Just edit to what was intended. So Jill, you're supposed to be the weapon specialist. So you should be able to buy and sell weapons. Yep. Okay. And let's edit Jill. You are our weapons specialist. Sure. Yep. That's it, right? So zoom in. I'm going to change my shortcuts for this later. Ramtech weapons specialist. And okay. And the change I did for the vendor, once again, just cover it real quick, was I just unselected buy, sell everything not on the list for the vendor items and weapons. Hit OK. Let's save it. And we're fast forwarding again. Alright, here we are. Let's find out.
Sorry.
Let's buy something. I don't care. You can't. Sure. What? So I'm messing up something here. I'm totally messing something up here. What am I messing up? Huh. I was like, what am I messing up? So this is right. Something here is wrong. Let's find out. Okay. Check in. Let's check out Jill. Ramtech specialist. Factions? Did I mess up the factions? There it is. There it is. Mess up the factions. Alright. Jill. So it wasn't connecting. That's it. It just wasn't connecting with her. Got it. Okay. Let's go through the examples again. Let's go through the examples. Vendor, items, weapons, buy, sell, everything not on a list. Save it. And reloading again. This is what happens, everybody. When you need to check something, you have to go through the process. So that's it. Moment of truth number 1. Let's find out.
Have a good one.
Yeah. Everything but the weapons. There we go. We did it. I don't have enough credits for this. Okay, let's buy all the weapon packs. Alright, look behind her. Everything's purchased. Perfect. So now let's set it as it should be for reals. Let's do it one more time. Last load up. Alright, last load up. Let's edit the faction for Jill. Zoom in on that. Faction for Jill. We are just clicking off buy, sell, everything in it. Hit OK. And then hit save. And then reload. One more time. Alright, see ya as we fast forward. Fast forward. Alright, the final moment of truth. Let's find out if you are going to be finally selling weapons and weapons only. And yes, indeed. Woo! There we go, everybody. There we go. Weapons and ammo. Sweet. Perfect. Perfection. And that's it, everyone. That's all I wanted to see. Yeah, she wasn't able to sell that. So we did it. We did it. We have 2 vendors in the same area using the same quest dialogue. I guess file, whatever you call it. So that way we don't have to duplicate it again and again and again for every single vendor, and still have the vendor have its own individual set of stuff. So there we go. If you have any questions for me, please don't forget, please let me know. It's like, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. But beyond that, guys, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, as everything does help out. Don't forget about our whole tutorial series if you're trying to learn everything that at least I'm going through from a beginner's perspective. Definitely check it out. You will learn how to create your mod in the very first 30 minutes, like basically 30 minutes. So yeah, check it out, guys. And once again, thank you so much for all love and support as always. Standing on the hearts, y'all. Without you, we just wouldn't be doing what we're doing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. See you again real soon, guys. Peace!